Okay, so first of all, I would like to start off this session by first talking about hybrid cloud, right, from the perspective of many organizations. So at a very high level, hybrid cloud is the idea of creating a bridge or a connection between your on-premises and the public cloud environment. So multi-cloud usually happens after you have adopted at least one public cloud, and it is about using multiple public cloud environments such as Google, Amazon, Azure, or Aliyun, etc., where we will create that hybrid connections between the different cloud providers. So generally speaking, most companies today would want to modernize their application at their own pace, and they would like to be able to find a way to do that inside their own data center or their own on-premises, rather than feel the pressure to quickly move everything to the public cloud, because they feel that this can be sometimes risky, or they want to take a granular step-by-step approach towards modernizing their application. And customer wants to get some of the benefits of running workloads in the cloud while maintaining some of the workloads on premises. And that flexibility provides company with a lot of business value rather than just trying to put everything into public cloud as quickly as possible. So there are many reasons why organizations are looking at a hybrid cloud strategy today. And when they do so, usually they have a wish list about this hybrid cloud environment. And this is something they always think about. So I will share with you what are these organizations are thinking about and what do they really want in this hybrid cloud strategy. So the first one is that you want to be able to write your application code once and then be able to deploy it on any cloud or any other place in the matter. If I'm a developer today, my dream is to be able to focus on the business logic in the code that I want to run, and then I'm able to deploy anywhere I want. I want to maybe deploy that workload in my on-premise and then maybe move it to the cloud when I'm ready to. Or maybe I would like to have this workload running on premises, and during the holiday seasons, I would like to extend it to the cloud, with a single click. Next is about accelerate the developer velocity. So this is the idea behind the fact that developers today are very important resources to many organizations, and developers need to be very productive. And we would like to make sure that they have all the tools and the simplicity that they need, and not to worry about the low levels of the infrastructure. Therefore, we need some kind of technology stack that allow them to increase their productivity and their velocity as a result. Because today you don't really differentiate with technology anymore, right? We differentiate with innovation, and this is based on the velocity of your developers. As such, we would like to make sure that there are no obstacles for your developers to do their job, and they can really focus on the business logic, on what is important for your business. Third, consistency across different environments is another thing that many organizations are thinking about. So this is about when you extend from your on-premise to the cloud. You want to make sure that your environments are in sync or as similar as possible, so that there's less failure point and less variable that you have to worry about. Or maybe you have a mainframe today in your on-premises, or maybe you have some workload that you're running in some bespoke way that you've created in your on-premises, and you want to extend from your on-premises to the cloud. At the end of the day, you want to ensure that the workload that run on-prem will run the same way in the cloud. So this is another thing that many organizations are thinking about, when they start to think about a hybrid cloud strategy. Then we also want to increase observability and SLO. And the idea here is that you want to have some formal way to monitor all these different environments and be able to do that using one single piece of tool, so that you can see some continuity between your different environment. And if there's a problem here or a problem there, where they start, where they end. So you want to have increased visibility across your hybrid environment. And we also want to decouple across critical components so that we increase our workload mobility, and we can just move things across different places if we need to. We also want to make sure we address disaster recovery, high availability, and maybe we want to have some of workload at the edge of the network, at the edge of the cloud, so that you'll be as close as possible to our user while maintaining some of the independence and keeping some things on-prem, for data sovereignty or any other technical requirement. And then last but not least, of course, we also want to avoid vendor lock-in because we don't want to be tied to anything. So to have this flexibility and choice is really important why a lot of organizations are starting to open up and they start to look at open source, and they will try to adopt open source as much as possible. So these are all the wish lists that many organizations they want, right? So they want to move to hybrid cloud environment, but before they do so, they will think about all these questions. So this is what the list of wish list is all about.